Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial. Today's review will be Widows, starring Viola Davis, Liam Neeson, Colin Farrell, Michelle Rodriguez, and the actor from the movie Get Out, also played in Black Panther, Danya Cooley. Let's get into it. So, when I first seen the previews for this movie, I instantly took it as the 2018 version of the movie Set It Off that came out in the 90s, starring Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett, Vivica Fox. So, and by the way, Steve McQueen is directing this movie. So I instantly, okay, this is a 2018 version of it. So, it's not really like that. The only correlation really like that is that the women get together and do a robbery, and that's it. That's the only correlation. Versus Set It Off had a whole bunch of different other plots and a different storyline, and they did multiple bank robberies. This is not really that. So let's get into the movie. So you have a little back and forth is showing you present and future. Present and current. Past and current. So Liam Neeson is married to Viola Davis' character, and he's into organized crime. So he keeps a ledger on everything he does. He got dirt on a lot of politicians, and he writes down everything. So I am a movie goer, and I watch a lot of movies. So certain movies, I pick up things before they happen. So right from the beginning, when this happened, this job they was doing, and they got barely got out of there. The cops was chasing them. They got free. One of the guys was this John Berthal that plays this Punisher. His character got shot. Now it's 4 people. It's a 4-man job. Of course, they got 4 women that were and they got 4 wives or whatever, or girlfriends, however you want to call it. And so the robbery went bad. They got the money, but then it was a shootout. John Berthal character got shot. So instantly, as soon as they got into the warehouse, wherever they was at, they transfer vehicles. And when I seen them get in the vehicle, and he shut the door, and it was kind of like a closed van, and he walked off, and then it showed him as if he got into the car, and the cops came in, just all of a sudden just unloaded they was waiting for him, and then they unloaded and shot up the vehicle. I instantly said to myself, he's not dead. I'm sorry. I knew that. I instantly said he's not dead. So I already knew that, man. So the movie begins. It shows like Viola Davis' character and Liam Neeson got a loving marriage, but then you start to see things unravel, and you see that's not all the way slow. So you also get to see that there's a politician family. Willl Ferrell, Jack McCullen is his character. His family has traditionally ran and been mayor of this 18th Ward district Hereditary for years. You got another rival that's looking like he could steal this tradition, and so you get to see a lot of behind the scenes racism, where you see how politicians may or may not view the African American community, or what they consider minority communities, or the people that's less fortunate. You can just see how they talk about them and how they view them or whatever. So they pretty much it's all money. So he's running against this character. His name is Manning. He's running against him, and Manning is climbing the poles. And he's climbing the poles, and he's looking like he could win. So they just try to tell Manning, you know, we'll give you a kickback, just bow out. He like, nah, because he know he's a threat. So Manning got a call, basically let him know that he was robbed for over $2 million. And he found out that the person who robbed him was Leo Nelson's character, Rollins. So they showed up to the funeral. Of course, they looked at the wife. So they instantly looking at the wife like, yo, she knows something. That's his wife. Nah, she knows something. So she really didn't. I think she knew he was into no good, but she didn't know what he just did. So that's her husband. So she kind of stick by him. So Daniel Kula, his character, his name like Jetmean or something like that. He's like the goon enforcer for Manning, the guy that's running for the mayor position, and he's like the goon. So he goes, and you get to see his character is real serious, doesn't mind killing people, and that space he's just the enforcer the whole movie. So excuse me. Manning shows up to Veronica Rollins, that's Viola Davis' character. He shows up to her house and pretty much was like, yo, he barged his way in, grabbed her dog. Basically, your husband took my money, and whether you know anything about it, I need you to get my money back. You better start selling all your stuff that you got here, auction it off, do what you gotta do, but I need my money, and you got a month to do it. So, which was weird, because what if she was a different type of woman that wasn't a go-getter, that was like, she'd have been lost. So, her husband had a driver, and he always told him if he passed away, give her this key. She went and got the key. Inside the key was the ledger I spoke of. Inside the ledger there was pictures, like compromising pictures that can save her, like her get out of jail free card, or, you know, for help from the authorities or whatever. So he had the picture and the pictures and the ledger, but he also had a ledger of his next job. And so she instantly started thinking the job was worth $5 million, that, yo, we could do this. I just gotta find a team. So she thinking of who she could choose. So she wants to choose the women that, of the guys that was in the last job, because, you know, she's thinking, well, they'd be the best suited for it, because they gonna be wanting for money because their base is no longer there. So each one of those girls has compromising things going on. Now, the one of the girls, she never even showed up, or she couldn't reach out to her, but one girl lost her store. She thought she was paying the leasing money, but her husband was taking the money, doing whatever. He owned some loan sharks. They came and took her business, so she was desperate for money. The one girl, she was young, and her boyfriend used to beat on her, but she really ain't done nothing in life. But you get to see instantly her character becomes a lot valuable because she was able to prove herself that she's worth something out here in this world, and she was able to get the guns, find out the blueprint where the safe was and where the safe was located, the address. She whatchamacallit. So she was able to get the vehicle, the getaway vehicle. So she became more valuable. Now, Viola Davis, Veronica, the whole movie, she carries her dog wherever she goes. So you start to be like, this is annoying that she's carrying this dog wherever she goes. However, you start to see like, this dog is going to become valuable somewhere. So it was a moment, either it was an apartment or it was when she went to like this old warehouse her husband owned, and inside of that location, she had the dog, and I think it was like the husband's coat or something, and the dog went up to the coat and started sniffing it and start whining, like, the dog knows that's its ex-owner's presence, or that was his smell or whatever. So, that was just, at the moment you're watching it, and you're like, oh, look at the dog, you know what I'm saying? But if you're looking like, it goes back to what I thought earlier in the thing. I'm like, huh? Wow. So the fourth woman, they get desperate because the husband's driver, they killed him because he wouldn't give up no information. So they killed him, and the husband's driver, they need a driver now. So it shows this woman, this random woman, she's struggling. She's trying to get things going for her life. She's in shape, heck of shape. She's doing hair. She's babysitting for people part-time while she's doing hair. She wants more for her family and her daughter. So she's doing a lot. And it shows her situation. But it also shows the salon she works. She sees this random man come and take money from the owner of the hairstyle salon. And she asked her, what's that? And, the hair salon just basically told her to mind her business. So, nevertheless, one of the jobs that she's doing to watch babysit on part-time is the Michelle Rodriguez character woman, where her name is Linda, where she needs her kids babysitted while she goes and plot and plan on this heist. So nevertheless, Michelle sees that she's down on her luck and she need money. So she thought she'd be like the perfect person to bring on board because she need it and she gonna be with it. So she shows up with this woman. Viola Davis is standoff, like, nah, why would you? But homegirl, she show up like she thorough, like, nah, I need this. Let's go, let's get it. Like, you know what I mean? I got my own gun. So she becomes very valuable because she's athletic and she with it. And she's just looking for an out and an opportunity. So going back to the fourth widow, before they had this woman as the driver, Viola meets with that woman. The woman finally meets with her, told her that she's not with anything. Hopefully the man left her some money to get a new start or whatever. And that was supposed to be the ledger, but she don't know that at the time. But so she goes back to that woman because now she's desperate for a driver. She shows up to the woman's house, and the woman pretty much you know what I'm saying? She got a baby, a 4-month baby, and she like, the baby's kind of crying and stuff, and then she was like, you shouldn't have showed up here. And she's like, I know, but I'm kind of desperate. I need X, Y, and Z. And then she pretty much said, another driver, because I'm pretty sure, you might know some people. And then she's telling Veronica character, just let it go and move on. So she's like, can I put my dog down? And so when the woman goes and pick the baby up, and she said the baby's been real fussy this morning, she goes and pick the baby up. The baby was quiet for a quick second. Meanwhile, the dog then just ventured off into the woman's crib. And the woman comes back out, talk to her, basically tell her, you need to let this go. The baby started crying again. So she went, it's basically said, you can see yourself out. She went back in the room. Now the dog, Veronica is looking and see the dog is whimpering. And it's pawing at this door or whatever. So that's the same whimper it did when it seen that jacket that was at the warehouse. So Viola's looking, she's walking slow, she's looking, and in the process of her walking there, early in the movie, it showed Liam Neeson taking a shower, and when he took a shower, Viola Davis came with a flask and gave him like some liquor out of the flask or whatever. And when she was walking to the door, she seen that same flask, and so then she grabbed the dog, and she wanted to open the door, but she didn't. She just grabbed the dog and walked off and held her composure and stepped. So at that moment, she knew that he was still alive. The other woman comes out and opened the door, and she like, I told you we should have left. I told you we should have left. Like, we should have been left and got out of here. So at that moment, you like, oh, this scumbag. He left her to figure all this out, and then Viola's hurt at this moment. So you don't know how they gonna pull this off. Meanwhile, through this whole thing, Veronica Rollins, she has money. You don't know where the money coming from, but she got some paper because they're able to do certain things. They're moving, and she's able to give them a little bit of money to hold over and get by or whatever. So each girl, of course, got their own situation. The young girl, she has met this man because she don't want to become a call girl, but because of her youngness and her stature, model type looking, she kind of like did the call girl thing because her mom kind of forced her, and then she meets a man that became valuable because he taught her or told her about the blueprint and also about the safe. So them pictures that was inside the ledger became valuable because they found a dude in the pictures, and they was able to get the code for the safe or whatever. So the movie is pretty decent. You'll be tuned in if you watch it. It could potentially be a part 2. I pretty much told the bulk of the story. You get to see how it all plays out when she confronts her supposedly dead husband, how they get the money, the goon, does he live, how he intervenes. So pretty much you can see these type movies, you're like, all right, they gonna get the money, you know what I'm saying? It's just how they end up getting it, and how it all plays out and who favor it works into. So it ends good. It's a decent film. I can see it being a part 2. I definitely can see it being a part 2. I guess that's more or less going to depend on how well it does in the box office. So on my 4-star rating system that I go by, I'm going to give this movie a 3 out of 4 stars. Decent film. You won't be disappointed. I thought it was is what I expected it to be. 3 out of 4 stars. Subscribe and like, share the video. This is my review. Make sure your notification button is on. Stay tuned for any updates that I got. It's the holiday season, so I'm going to be doing reviews on certain different movies and anything that's coming in the theater as well. So just stay tuned. Check the playlist too as well. Till next time.